Hey y'all, thank you guys for joining. Let's get into our midday pop-in. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Try not to hold you guys too long, but we got a lot of TV we got to get through. Hello to everyone. I see some of you guys have been waiting a little bit for the show. Thank you guys for being here. Oh Lord. All right. Of course, everything said in the video is alleged and in my opinion and is used for fair use and entertainment. All right, let's jump into our first topic. Now, today we looked at Karmelo Anthony's mom and dad give their account on how they feel about how the whole outcome of the sentencing, how the verdict and all of that went down. Of course, they are heartbroken, like everybody. I am as well. But Austin Metcalf's father said that he felt peace. Let's go ahead and pull this up. And then I have some more tea that I need to put out with that as well. I feel like the more we uncover and talk about and expose a lot of the shit that's going on in Texas and the undercover stuff that's going on, that we can definitely help Karmelo get a fair appeal this next go around. They gave him 35 years. I don't feel like that was warranted. There should still be some charges. Hunter Metcalf should receive some charges as well for the assault on Karmelo Anthony. None of that has taken place. So I'm hoping that in this appeal that they can push for that as well, because you can't punish one without the other. We talked about it before. Had Hunter and Austin Metcalf not approached him, we wouldn't be sitting here right now, right? That go for anybody. Mind your fucking business. If you mind your business, a lot of times things that you start don't end up in that way. All right. You can't gauge how a person's going to react if you put your hands on them. So Austin Metcalf's father says that he felt peace after Karmelo Anthony was found guilty of unaliving his son, insisted the case was never about race and that Anthony should have received a life sentence. Really? Let's get into what he had to say.
It took on this huge, wider, let's have a race war throughout the nation.
Metcalf insists that his son had no racist motives when he approached Anthony about leaving a track team tent.
This case was never about race.
There's going to be those people now that just, try to throw shade on the whole trial with the jury makeup and the speed of it and that sort of thing. I mean,
well, those are the same people that said he was jumped by 4 people. His phone was broken. You're going to spin whatever story to try to keep yourself afloat.
Metcalf believes Anthony should have received a life sentence. He says if Anthony is up for parole in 17 years, he will be there in some form to argue against it.
If I'm still alive, yes, I will be there in person. If not, I am going to make a video, if I'm passed on, that can be played. It took on this huge, wider, let's have.
This is the same person who is defending. I'm not saying he should not defend his son. That's his son. This is his blood. That's his child. He should defend his child as any other parent should. But this is the same child that broke your fucking arm, sir. I read. Right? Austin Metcalf, didn't he break your arm, sir? Father. Austin Metcalf's father. Didn't Austin Metcalf break your arm in a fit of rage? Didn't Hunter Metcalf, didn't we see him verbally tell his mother to hush so he could talk? These boys are unruly, and they're doing the shit at home, and they did it outside, and it caught up with them. So we got to call a spade here. We're not going to keep breezing over the fact that yes, someone did lose their life, but why? For every action is a fucking reaction, and I'm tired of the videos. Like, I'm tired. Yes, it's racially motivated. Them approaching him was racially motivated. They were bullying him. It's clear. It's on video. It was testified that you told him more than 15 times to move from his seat. Again, who are you to tell someone where to sit? Had he shut his mouth, had Austin Metcalf shut his mouth and sat his ass down, he would be alive today. Unless he got into another situation where somebody wanted to either beat his ass or, or something else. But bullying caught up with him, and we've got to keep we got to keep the facts on the table. I get it. His parents are upset that he's not here, but understand your own son turned his rage against you and broke your fucking arm. I read. Yeah. And I think they're scared of these boys. They are big. Those boys are big. 6'1", big boys, tower over their parents. What would make a child want to break their father's arm? Probably because he was trying to discipline you or reprimand you in some type of way, and you don't want to hear it because you thought you were running shit. You probably think you're running shit at home, and you thought you were running shit that day at the track meet, and it caught up with you. Now, I feel like, again, like I said, charges do need to be pressed to where everyone needs to be held accountable. If we're going to hold Karmelo accountable, you guys want to give him all these fucking years, definitely everyone that put their hands on him should definitely get it as well. And his friends who got on the stand and lied and spoke against him when you were there and you saw what happened, you should definitely be charged for perjury, and you should definitely be charged for, giving false statements to police officers as well. That's just what it is. But again, Texas and that town, Collin County, I hear is a very racist town. It's really starting to provoke people to be out here doing crazy stuff. I've been seeing a lot of crazy comments. It looks like it's going to be some type of race war behind this. A lot of people are not sitting down and taking this verdict of 35 years. They feel like it's overkill in a way. But let's go ahead and get into some more things. You guys heard him. He's going to be there if and when they do have the for him to get, for him to come up for parole. He says, if I'm not here, I'm going to record a video so they can play it. So he is very gung-ho on making sure that Karmelo stays exactly where he is. It's a lot of hatred. I read his impact statement for you guys yesterday. You can hear, just from me reading it, you could hear the vitriol in his voice towards Karmelo. You tell him, you spoke to him like he was your son. See, that's how you should spoke to your son when he fucking broke your arm. Told that motherfucker, look at me, right? Look at me. Like you told Karmelo, look at me. You can't even look at me. You're looking down at the ground. He don't have to look at you. He looked at the person he needed to look at whenever he was bullying him. Okay. But let's continue. We revealed this morning to you guys. Let me pull it up here. I don't want to be irritated by this. I really need to get past this shit because, baby, I'm telling you, this case is pissing me off. I can't stand stuff like this. So we shared this morning. All right, correctional institution. This is where Karmelo is being housed. For those of you who watched my Car Chronicles this morning, senior warden Talon Metcalf is the uncle of Austin Metcalf, who was unalived by Carmelo Anthony. There's some things going on behind the scenes that we have to expose. I'm going to expose it on my channel. Ain't shit that they can do to me. I'm a content creator. It's my job to put information out there. All right. As you guys can see, I feel like some things were already planned, put together behind the scenes prior to Karmelo even stepping foot in the courtroom. Right. It's too many people connected, well connected in this case that know each other, that's calling the shots behind the scenes, that's doing things. And it was alleged that the prison that they put Karmelo in is that they were planning to harm him. Let me take this down. And let's put this up, please. Now I'm gonna read it from my phone because it's kind of small. Shout out to Lakeisha Keisha. I respect her as a blogger, as a content creator, because she definitely she does the work. She does the work, and her work is reputable. So we're going to definitely take a look at this. Let me take down these comments right here and we'll put them back up. So shout out to Lakeisha Keisha. She says Karmelo's life was in danger. Okay, she says, I just got off the phone with a source who sent me proof that they tried to send him to a prison in which the warden's last name was Metcalf. I just showed you guys the proof. Sources were able to go to top leaders to reroute him to another prison. The reason they transferred him so fast was because he was he has an active appeal, and the new lawyer asked for him to be released while the appeal is being reviewed. Therefore, they hurried up and transferred him to the prison, because by him being transferred, this stops him from being released, because he has now already been transferred to a prison that these people are corrupt as hell. Karmelo did not get a fair trial, and they were going to try to hurt him there tried to hurt him, said that they are powerful people working behind the scenes, and I will keep it confidential. She said that they also showed Karmelo in custody in Texas when he had been transferred and didn't update the record to show he was not in the building, that people were coming to the jail to see him and he was not there. Y'all hear this? There's a lot of crazy shit going on behind the scenes here. She goes on to say that God is protecting this kid. The devil won't win. Teach your kids to keep their hands to themselves. Absolutely. Absolutely. So they're moving him. As you guys heard the lawyer raise his voice at Karmelo's attorney when he asked, can we at least allow him to step out to get himself together, because Karmelo was like hyperventilating. They were saying in the courtroom after he was found guilty, he heard the guilty verdict, he started hyperventilating. He was kind of losing himself. And y'all know they say, hey, whenever you hear the verdict, the judge doesn't want like a loud commotion and all of that. But Karmelo was out of control. He could not contain himself. And the attorney asked the judge if he and Karmelo could just step out to get himself together. The judge raised his voice at Karmelo's attorney to tell him, no, he's not allowed to do so, because he is now the property of the state, being that he was just found guilty of first-degree unaliving. And he will not get any more preferential treatment. So as you guys can see, they didn't want that. They were upset because the black attorney who lowered Karmelo's bond and allowed him to be home. I posted that as well on my Karmelo show page. If you guys go over and check that out as well. The black attorney who signed the paperwork to lower his bail so that he could get out and get an ankle monitor on, so he didn't have to sit in prison until his court date. That's who I felt should have tried the case, but they are upset about that. They were pissed about that. I have the picture. Let me send it. All right. They were pissed that she lowered that. So I think that they were very much so pushing to get this get this lawyer in place to hear this case, this trial, because I told y'all that during the trial, before they actually came up with the actual sentencing, they were the jury had asked about the possibility of it being a lesser charge, manslaughter. Of course, y'all know they didn't want self-defense. That was already out. They wasn't even considering that, but they were considering manslaughter, which is what the jurors were asking the judge, and the judge said no. They want, and the family had already asked for 40 years. So the judge was definitely leaning towards the family and what they wanted, and was shooting down the lesser charge of manslaughter, which I feel like that's what it was. I mean, he did stab him in the chest. He did take his life. If they were going to charge him with anything, I'm be honest with you, I feel like he should have got self-defense, because that's what I feel. But we knew that was going to be I don't think they were going to do that shit. I just didn't think they were going to give him self-defense. I prayed about it. I was just like, I just didn't feel good that day when they did that. But the black judge is the one that I feel should have definitely been over this case. But I think it was already written in stone as to who they wanted to do it, to be over it. Let me get this up. I'm sorry. Who y'all pray for me today, child? I'm telling you, I'm really trying not to. This case is just, every time I talk about it, it makes me more and more upset. All right, so let me take this down. I'm sorry. Remove from studio. All right. Remove from studio. I need some more space. All right. So, all right, this is the judge. This is the judge. They gave her hell too. She was getting death threats, you guys. Go ahead and show. Hold on. Let me try to pull it again. StreamYard would act a fool. What the hell? Y'all be patient. Why would it be? OMG. Let's try one more time. If not, we're gonna go old school because I gotta keep it moving. Not sure why. All right, anyway. Let me just show it on my phone. Shit, I don't care. All right, so this is the judge. Hope you guys can see it. Can y'all see that? All right. That is the judge, the black judge who signed off on the warrant. not the one, but signed off on him to be sent home with an ankle monitor. They didn't want that. They wanted Karmelo to sit in jail until it was time for the trial, which that would have been over a year. Yes, he would have got time served, but ain't nobody got time for that, right? He hadn't even been convicted as of yet. But let's go ahead and finish up. Now they're circulating his picture. I think they're rage baiting the community. They're rage baiting everyone that's watching this situation. As you guys can see, they're putting all of his personal information up there. His name, Karmelo Sincere Anthony, all of his, of course, this is public information now that he is arrested, but they're making sure that they're putting all of his mug shots up. They're putting all of his info up, all of his personal information. It's overkill at this point, like, right? For those of you that want to, let me put this up. This is his inmate number. For those of you that want to, I guess, put money on his books or whatever, that's his inmate number. They have his date of birth here. He's such a baby. My God, 2007, that seems like, right? Yeah. So that's the information for that. I got that for you guys as well, but that's his inmate information here as well. I'm going to try to get, because I don't know if they're going to move him again. So I probably should have waited to show that. I don't know if they're going to move him again. But again, this is the person who should not, he should not be there, because I feel like they're going to treat him like shit there. I feel like he's going to be jumped and probably unalived if they don't get him out of there, if they haven't already, under this warden who obviously is related to the Metcalf family. Talon Metcalf is the uncle of Austin and Hunter Metcalf. So I already shared that with you guys. Was there anything else? Shout out again to Lakeisha Keisha. All right, let's get into some reality TV talk. I don't want to talk about this Karmelo Anthony trial anymore today. I'm over it. I feel like I've talked about it every day, and it's so draining. And it makes me so mad because I just feel like, but the good news is they have filed the appeal. That usually does take some months for everything to get, to be done. So we'll see what happens. Their family is fighting for Karmelo to stay exactly where he is. They want him to get life. They're going to fight even at the parole hearings if he has to stay, to keep him in there. But everything doesn't always go the way they want to. And with a lot of people's prayers and support, I feel like we can help get him a lesser sentence with this appeal. So every update that I get, you guys will get it as well. Thank y'all for supporting. Let's keep it moving. All right, so this Kimmy and Mari situation, Messy Monday, which is, y'all know, Carlos King's stolen show. All right, let's get into that and what they had to say about part one's reunion. So the part one's reunion has the streets talking. It's only fitting that Monday Night Crew discuss it on Carlos King's YouTube channel. We don't care. So they're talking about Kimmy Maurice is cheating a deal breaker. We saw it on the show where Kimmy was stuttering when they asked, is cheating a deal breaker? Would you leave Maurice if he ever stepped out and cheated on you? I mean, we already know she ain't going nowhere, right? Kimmy's biological clock was ticking when she married Maurice. She ain't going to fucking where. I feel like he's cheated multiple times. I think she knows it. She will never admit it because it will make her look like a weak woman. And Kimmy, her disposition gives that she presents herself as this strong Black woman. So for her to admit that she's staying with a husband who constantly steps out and cheats on her, it makes her look like a liar, one. And two, it makes her look like a weak woman. And she doesn't want to look that way because she's about image, just like Tisha. So let's go ahead and get into what they had to say on Messy Monday.
Kimmy season 1 said that cheating was a deal breaker. In this reunion, that some years later, maybe not so much. She doesn't know, but she does know that how can I trust somebody after cheating? What were your thoughts about that? Because Maurice gagged everybody and said, we're going to talk about this in therapy because I would hope that you would love me enough to figure it out.
I think that's some malarkey, to use Destiny's language. So wait a minute, you mad that you don't have the option to step out and come back? Do you not believe in safety? I'm not safe at that point. You are unsafe. So everything about that was gaslighting. It was manipulative. He flipped the script and said, well, clearly I'm more invested because I would want to stick around after cheating and you wouldn't. What kind of logic? You and Logic are not friends in that moment. It was so heavy-handedly manipulative and I love that she was like, yeah, I know what I said and I meant that, right? She showed a level of self-esteem in saying, hey, my alone doesn't suck. I love him and he's the best man that I know. but I don't hate being alone enough to like be dishonored. And he said, well, how am I the best man you know and I'm still not allowed to cheat on you? The best man you know should be allowed to cheat one good time. Like, I gotta look. What logic is that? That's, you know how manipulative it is for somebody to be good to you just so that they have the option to be bad to you later? It showed his lack of emotional maturity.
I like how she said that. And that's exactly what it sounds like. That is some mental manipulation for your ass, Maurice.
Maturity. She said, nah, I'm okay. I could be alone, you know, whatever. But then 5 minutes later, you're watching how she's acquiescing to him. I think one question ironically answered the other.
In what way? Tell me.
I think there are, seeing how immature he is and how equally yoked he did not seem even in that argument when she was being reasonable, made me wonder if there's a part of her that is subconsciously mothering him rather than expecting him to be a full-fledged equal. That is part of why he gets away with these shenanigans for so long. I do think that the age is not just a problem. I think it's a maturity thing more than age, because somebody can be younger than you and still be as mature as you. I think his lack of maturity actually spoke to me as a response to the previous question of, oh, she's used to having to make concessions because he's a man-child and he's likable and he's sweet and he's kind, and he uses that as a way to weaponize his incompetence in other places. That's not healthy. But the thing is, I do believe they deeply love each other. So you can be toxic, madly in love, right? So toxic and madly in love are not always mutually exclusive. I just think that it would take a lot of work on his part to be her where she needs him to be an equally yoked partner.
But I feel like at this point you should already be there, because how long does it take for you to understand your spouse and know what they will and will not put up with, right? I feel like Kimmy jumped in both feet in this situation with Maurice, and I think that a little bit in, she saw maybe this is not what I want, but I think that I praised him too much that I can't pull it back now, because again, that will, one, make me look like a liar, and two, like a weak woman, and I don't want to come off as being that, and three, I don't want to be alone after I, chase this man and giving up everything to be with him, including my son, because y'all know she pushed Jalen to the side to be with Maurice. Jalen didn't like Maurice. Jalen didn't care about Maurice. Y'all can go back and look at the wedding when Kim and Maurice got married. It was all over Jalen's face. He was just like, oh no, why? Because he said he was always protective of his mom, as all boys are. Jalen was not a favorite. Maurice was not a favorite of Jalen at all. At all. He just was not here for the shit. And then to hear that Kimmy put that house in Maurice's name over her son Jalen, I thought that was just the craziest shit ever, right? But do I feel sorry for Kimmy? I do not, because I feel like as women, we choose what we want to choose as far as a significant other, and you stay where you want to stay. And I feel like when she gets tired of the shit, then she will leave. But do I think she will ever leave? I don't think Kimmy will completely be tired, because you have some women out there that know that they're with an ain't shit person, but they won't release that person because they don't want to see someone else with that person, right? That's the selfish side of them. That's the selfish side of them. Kimmy pursued him heavy, even when he was still married to Kiowa. All in his DM, she said that they were sneaking around and having sex in several places and sneaking. And like she loved that part of it. And Maurice loved it as well. That's when Kimmy was this extra freaky girl back then. She was doing all the things that Maurice wanted her to do because, and I'll be honest with you guys, I just find it very serious. And something happened, I feel like, in the Scott boys' life when they were younger. And I was having this conversation with somebody else. I won't reveal who it is. But when I hear young kids talking about they're looking at nudie magazines and stuff, like, you were exposed to sex way too soon. Like, were you touched as a child? I mean, I've heard of touched by an angel, but were you touched as a child? Like, what has you so sexually just out there? Maurice is, I feel like Maurice has it the worst. I know their other brother said something about something that happened to him when he was in the military, because he broke down crying. I remember when it happened. And all of those boys used to pass around nudie magazines and look at those and pleasure themselves as children. So something happened. I know they said their father wasn't really there like that for them, but what happened to them? I feel like something may have happened that shouldn't have happened to them as kids and now as men, because they didn't get help. The women that they're married to are suffering from being made to do things maybe that they don't want to do. Like Kimmy was expected to still have to roll over and take it while she was in pain and taking chemo and her hair falling out. He didn't give a fuck. He still wanted her to toot it up and still be at the same capacity that she was when they first started dating. Kimmy said, hey, he was doing it 2, 3, 4 times a day. That's a lot. Like, y'all didn't have no jobs. Like, I love my husband, but I don't have time to be with my ass in the air 4 or 5 times a day. I got to go to work. I have responsibilities. I have a child to take care of. Like, Hello. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Let me know, child. Let me know. But yeah, I feel like something happened with them. Let's get into Tammy Roman, from formerly of Basketball Wives. Okay, she defends Drew Sidora and her Real Housewives of Atlanta paycheck. A lot of people were like, "Damn, Drew, that's all you making on the show." But you guys know by the time they get their paycheck and everything else come out, they have several people who work for them. Drew has a 10-person team that she's already said that she has to pay for. Whatever reason, makeup, stylist, trip planning, event plan, whatever the case may be. She's got somebody for every occasion and situation. Those people have to be paid. They're not working for free. So if Real Housewives of Atlanta is giving you $450-something thousand, that's not your bring home. It's kind of like taxes. Like when you get your gross, you're going to bring home the net. And that's exactly what's happening here with her. But a lot of people were shocked to find out that she got paid what she was getting paid. I mean, I still think that's good money for her, even though she does have to pay Ralph over $2,000 now a month for child support, being that their divorce is now finalized. So let's get into what Tammy had to say, because y'all know she's been on reality TV for quite some time. Let's go.
Good morning. I was down to the blog People's Place, and I saw that they had released some information about Drew Sidora, who's on Real Housewives of Atlanta, her divorce. And I just wanted to say, I think it's unfortunate that so much information is public. But what they were focusing on was her rate of pay. And I think the reports were that she makes $26,000 an episode. And so I'm nosy. So I went to the comments. And there were people saying, oh my God, that's so low. She ain't hardly making no money. Who said that? Because I'm about to tell y'all something. When I started Basketball Wives, I think it was 2010. I was making $2,500 an episode.
Wow.
I was still working my everyday job at Morgan Stanley.
Wow.
And I was flying down on the weekends for $2,500 an episode.
And that's not, that's not before everything is taken out. So think about it. $2,500. That's not what everything else taken out from the $2,500. Damn, Tim.
Now, that's not what I made by the end of the show or whatever. But I just want to say, it's not a lot of people that's making $26,000, okay, that are in the reality TV space. And the Real Housewives, they get about 24, 26 episodes. So when you do the math on that, I just wanted to come on here and say, Drew, in the event you were feeling minimized or people were making you, feel away, girl, get your paper, girl, get your coin, because mother was going for $2,500. So there's that.
Okay. Good. I'm glad she put that out there because, people do think that just because you're on TV that you just making all this money, you're rich. I mean, shout out to Winter from Love and Marriage DC. She put that out there to say, we don't make shit over there on this show. Like, yeah, we getting up here, child. We got to be dolled up for the reunion and all that. Mind you, they still got to pay makeup and all this from whatever they're getting. Winter put that out there to say that Carlos don't pay them like that. But then Tisha got up and say, oh, we get paid real well. Oh, we get paid real good. Yeah, no, you weren't. No, you weren't. I can't tell. With y'all still not finishing this damn house and everything else that y'all got going on. It took y'all forever and still taking forever. And y'all have other things going on as well. But just because you're on TV don't mean that you're rich. Doesn't mean that you have all of this money flowing in. It just gives whatever the network and whatever the contracts say that you are to make. We know that Bravo does pay their people really, really well. Real Housewives of Atlanta, those girls get paid pretty good, especially when you're on and your contracts are renewed and you're bringing it like you're supposed to. Y'all know Nene was getting paid $1 million. Like Nene was the highest. And when Nene left, they gave it to Candy. Once Candy left, it then was passed down to Portia. If Portia leaves, I'm not sure who's going to get that baton after that as the highest paid. But Andy, NBC Universal, and Bravo, they paid the girls pretty good. And that's why they stay and put up with the bullshit that they put up with. That's why K. Michelle wanted her ass. That's my dream, to be on the show. Of course it is, because you're going to get money. And I was reading that K. Michelle didn't even buy the house that they were showing on the show that she's renting in order to be on the show. That she hurried up and married that guy so that it could strengthen her storyline to be on the show. Did y'all know that? That's T, right? She hurried up and married this guy. He didn't want to get married anyway. They said that she was trying to convince him to get married because that would strengthen her spot on the show, her presence on the show, being a wife, because she wanted to be on the show as a wife. And she wanted to come on saying, oh, I have this, huge house, because that's what the housewives have, like huge houses and husbands. And so she wanted to have that whole image when she came on to the show. But yeah, dude didn't want to be married, but he did it because he wanted to give her that, that image, that aura of what the girls would have being on the show. But shout out to Tammy for revealing that. I never knew that it was that low. That's my wife. Y'all need to step it up. Shawnee. Okay, Shawnee, we know your check was bigger than $2,500. All right, but let's continue. Yeah, I'm gonna can that because I want to go ahead and hurry up and get close to this interview. Because child, I can't be on here forever. All right, let's get into Love and Marriage Huntsville stuff. We kind of touched on it just a few minutes ago. I want to play this clip, and then we get ready to get into two clips, and then we're going to get into this interview with Destiny and DJ Ritchie Scott. Shout out to my mods for sending me that, because I didn't even know they were even doing an interview. I went and checked it out and watched it from beginning to end. Pretty good interview. Destiny, she's revealing some tea on here. I didn't even know. Shit, I don't think anybody knew. I think it's safe to say she and Tisha are no longer friends, and probably will not be after this interview, because Destiny did reveal some things that I'm pretty sure Tisha will not be forgiving her for. Okay. But hey, shout out to Destiny for being transparent here, because hey, it gave me some content. But let's go ahead and play these clips. I played them for you before, but just for a refresher, because once we get into the interview, you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that now. Okay, so let's go ahead and feed your minds so you guys can be refreshed when we get to that point. All right, let's go ahead and play it. OMFG Reality TV. Thank you.
What was the pivotal moment in your friendship with Destiny where you do feel like, don't trust that hoe?
For me, the reason I put her in that box was because, okay, Martell is your friend, true enough, but I thought I was your friend as well. So when your friend is saying disrespectful things about your other friend, you're laughing and giggling about it, and like, oh, well, I don't think that's true, but you're like engaging in the conversation. And then when she was talking to Nell, at the moment I needed for her to defend me and take up for me, she didn't do it. So I'm like,
You feel like your girl are friends with your enemies.
Yeah.
And you feel like when these people talk about you, she does not defend you.
Right. I just wanted the friend I've been to her. I just wanted that in return when it was her turn to be that friend to me. That's it. That's all. That's all I was asking for. And apparently it was too much. So.
But you that's unfair. It's like control, Tisha. You can't control your friends, what they're thinking, what they're feeling. I saw the clip where Destiny was telling telling Martell, that's not nice, Martell. Don't say that. When he was saying all of those things about Tisha, right? She really was saying, now she was kind of laughing a little bit when she said it, but at least she said it. She was like, Martell, that's not nice. Like, don't do that. Don't say that. Don't put that out there. Like, she was doing that. So you really can't control a person just because you're friends with the person. If someone else that they're friends with says something that's out of line, like, yeah, they can say, Garrett, that was kind of fucked up that you said that, or that you saying that or whatever. But ultimately, they don't control that person. Martell is a grown man where he can say whatever he wants to say. And just because you don't get along with him and that he's friends with Destiny is not Martell's keeper. Destiny is not Martell's babysitter. She doesn't control him. So it's unfair for you to have that expectation for Destiny to always have to control Martell when he fly off and read you when you initiated it.
How do you feel about that? When she says that when you are around Martell, he talks about her and she feels like you laugh along with his jokes and the fact that there isn't this blind allegiance that you have with her?
I feel like it's a bunch of malarkey. Let's go back to the first incident where she said that I should have known what he was going to say. I had no idea what he was going to say. My whole point of the question was to get to a resolve. Because the end of the question was, how can we fix it? I had no idea he was going to take it back to her college past, had no clue. And in that moment, I was the person that put my physical body in between her and him to keep him from getting close to her. So, yes, I did. While your husband has you in front of him like a shield.
So this is my thing.
Let's be clear.
This is my thing with Destiny.
But
you
I let
you don't
you talk,
know exactly
and I
what
did
he's
not cut
going
you
to say,
off.
but you
Are we
knew
gonna
he
do
was
this?
going to do something
Is this
crazy.
what we're going to do? Because I let her talk. I didn't say a word.
Okay, go ahead.
I want him to say those things. No, I didn't appreciate it. And I told him he owed her an apology. I don't know what more I could have done in that moment.
What do you think the issue is?
I don't know if there's a real issue with me, but what Tisha.
All right, so we're gonna pause. We don't need to see all of that. I just wanted to remind you guys of what was said here. Destiny was like, I can't be held accountable for Martell. And then Tisha was saying, well, you knew he was going to do this. Like, she's not a psychic. She's not a psychic. She doesn't know the next words or thoughts that's coming into Martell's head or out of his mouth. So that's unfair once again to try to hold her to that standard, Tisha, when you don't. I mean, it's like saying that you knew that Marceau was going to fly off and say some things or do some things that he's done. You don't control him in that way. He's his own being. And just like Martell is his own being, you guys had a back and forth. You said some things about him as well. So it's not like you can get to say whatever you want to say. And then Martell just has to be quiet. And then Destiny is her job, because she's his friend, to keep him quiet so that he doesn't say anything negative about you while you're over here still popping off. Like, it don't work that way. Okay. Let's get into this next clip, and then we're going to get into the DJ Ritchie Scott interview. All right. Now, let's give you guys some tea. For those of you that watched Messy Monday, Carlos reveals on there that the back and forth between Nell and Kimmy, where they were arguing and calling each other bitch back and forth, Carlos says that it was really bad. That what we saw was dumbed down and watered down because OWN is a battered women's network, and they were not going to allow that type of banter and back and forth between two black women on their network because of their image. So he says that they said the B word back and forth to each other at least 15, 20 times, and that their argument went on for a very long time. So they had to heavily edit it down. They had to take out all the B's, and put about a good 2 or 3 in there, just so that you could still get that rah-rah, but not the rah-rah. Y'all get where I'm going? So let's go ahead and play so y'all can see, and Destiny will also confirm that in this interview.
I want to ask Nell, do you feel like Destiny has the tendency to say things that comes across as shade?
She can't say some.
Everybody does
She
that.
can't say that's
So
what
why
I'm
am I
getting
saying
at.
it out?
Hold on.
Okay.
She can't say some shade.
This ain't up.
But at the end of the day, we all say some shade.
Now, do you feel like you're one of the reasons why Destiny and Tisha are at odds?
I think Destiny tried to fix something. Destiny inserted herself in the middle because she's friends with me and Letitia.
I didn't insert. I got pulled. When I came back around the friend group, y'all already were having an issue, and I didn't know it. It started at her birthday party.
That is not.
Didn't y'all have a moment and you were like, don't get out of my husband's face?
Yeah, we did.
We did have a conversation at Trisha's party about Tisha and I not being transparent.
But we didn't have an issue.
But Kimmy, you started that issue because you had a conversation, or you heard about a conversation. You sat and was listening, okay, like the secret squirrel that you are, and then you ran back and told something in a conversation where a person was not there, which then started some beef and or problems with someone else, which was then with Tisha and Nell. Okay. And also, I think it was something that Destiny said, and then you kind of ratted her out as well, which then caused a huge issue and a back and forth. So Kimmy, had you kept your mouth shut, they wouldn't even be there, right?
I didn't think that there was an issue
We didn't have an
when
issue.
we left the party.
It was an issue.
It was. I can say it was.
It was an issue. And we are
Thank you, Trish.
always going to clean up what you all don't think is an issue.
What was the issue? Say it like right here.
You're not my mother. And you always trying to tell somebody where to say something. You think you can be calm and say it right here. I did that with you once. And I gave your ass grace once.
You ain't give me shit.
Gave you grace.
Bitch, you ain't got enough grace to give me.
You don't have enough grace.
What are
grace.
you talking about?
You do that right here. So you pipe it all the way down.
I'm not piping, bitch.
Well, bitch, I ain't
You
either.
ain't got me to pipe.
You ain't got I ain't already got
I want to.
Kimmy, why you run over there? I want to see Kimmy run over there. Oh, I want to see you run over there, Kimmy. Kimmy knew better. She knew better. All right, so now that you guys have the visual, we're going to go ahead and get into this interview. I'm going to be skipping ahead because I made my own points of what I wanted to talk about from the interview. so that you guys won't be like, what is she talking about? Right. So let's make it big. Well, let me share first. Sorry. Let's share and then let's make it big so that you guys can see all of it. All right. What do y'all think about that? Child, Nail went slam off, didn't she? I told y'all, Nail fight like a man. I don't think Kimmy want them hands. Child. I don't think. All right. So let's get into. So we're gonna get into the first part. So in this part here, this is where Destiny addresses the comment where Tisha says, well, she heard Tisha saying that either I fight with you, Destiny, or I divorce Marcel. So she's going to address this here with DJ Ritchie Sky. Again, shout out to him because we're listening from his interview. Okay, so shout out to him. Shout out to DJ Ritchie Sky. This is fair use.
But it's just my preference. Going into this reunion, there is something that you said about Letitia that she said to you that either she fight with you or she divorced Marceau. When she said that, because I speculated about how she said it, what was what can you describe the context?
I'm not a fan of Destiny, but I have to be fair, guys. Destiny looks great here. Destiny looks great. The hair, like makeup, all of that. Destiny, I don't even like you, and I can't even believe I'm saying it. I'm sitting here looking at her. I'm like, oh my God, Destiny looks beautiful right here. I don't know what is the Lord working on me today? I don't know. Destiny looks good here. Can we give her that? I'm sorry. I know y'all ain't even fans of Destiny. I'm not even a fan of her like that either, but I gotta give credit what credit is due. She looks great here. I love the hair, the makeup, all of that. Let's continue though. She looks great here. Makeup.
Ooh. Yes. It was Jalen's birthday at Kimmy and Reese's house. And I walked in and she was just talking smack. And I was like, we still beefing? You know, we still beefing? Like, what we doing? You know, it was one of those moments. And it was before like the Taco Tuesday and all that stuff. And she said it in that moment. Like we were all partying, like, you know, having a good time. And so maybe she had that bottle. I don't know. But
I don't feel like Destiny is lying. I don't feel like she's lying. I didn't hear her stumble. Her body language doesn't give that she's lying. It's the way that she's letting it flow out whenever the question is asked, the way she described what happened when I came in. The certain person was standing by the bar. Tisha was drinking. Maybe she didn't remember because she had one too many drinks of what she said. Maybe she and Marcel had an argument prior to coming to Jalen's party, cookout, whatever it was, barbecue. And maybe she was trying to, you know, vent to Destiny or say something to Destiny out of frustration after a few drinks and not realizing that Destiny recorded it into her mental Rolodex and used it at the reunion. And Tisha was probably shocked and surprised. And I said it at the reunion. It didn't give whenever Tisha debunks saying what Destiny said that she said. It wasn't one of those, oh my God, you're lying on me. It was one of those, how dare you say or repeat what I said on national television. This was only supposed to be behind closed doors. It didn't give that you never said it. Tisha, it gave that how dare you say that I said it in front of everybody, because even Kimmy was like, oh, you said it? Right? That's what it gave me. Let's keep going on. So shout out to Destiny for that truth.
she don't remember, it was said.
Did anybody else hear, or was it just kind of like between the two of y'all?
I mean, we weren't whispering. Like, we were just standing around the island.
Around the group.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it was a lot of people there. It wasn't just the group. It was a whole bunch of people there.
Okay.
I don't feel like she
what do you think it would take for you two to get back to, or is it possible for you guys to get back to a place of like, you know, like, I mean, where you guys were before? Is that possible?
Here's to a summer you'll
right,
never forget.
What y'all think about that? I don't think they're gonna ever be friends after this. I'm sorry. Destiny, I don't think you were lying. So I'm gonna give you that, okay? All right. So let's move to the next part of this, because we just gonna touch on parts that I kind of wanted to discuss here. All right. So if you guys want to watch it in its entirety, I'll drop the link here in the chat once we get done, okay? So y'all can go over and watch it. But let's move to the next part that I want to address, which is this is where Martell pops off on Marceau and the relationship with Tisha. Says that Destiny says in this next clip that whenever Martell was popping off on Marceau at her park event that they had last season, that Marceau is not the type of person to take up for Tisha, and that has happened many times. So it gives like when a man or somebody run up in Tisha's face, Marceau is not that type of husband to jump up and say, hey, don't talk to my wife that way, or hey, don't put hands on my wife, or stand in front of said altercation. Destiny was standing in between two men to protect Tisha when Marceau should have stood up and protected his wife. Okay, so let's back it up. Let's start it here.
And we don't know that.
Correct.
Right? Because then we see her in this confessional and she's like, well, I wish you would say something, Chris. And I'm like, well, all we know to think at that point is, I don't know.
Chris is what people. Chris is like, I'm used to it.
I'm talking about Martell popping out.
I'm used to it. We're gonna fight with him for yeah. He'll calm down. You'll calm down. We'll be fine.
Got it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I just didn't like that he. I think it was the cursing that he was like. I'm like, who you talking to?
Yeah, I mean,
be respectful.
So they're referring to when Martell snapped at Nell when they were sitting down on the couples trip or on the cash trip and told Nell to shut the F up. And Destiny immediately says to Martell and grabbed him and said, who you talking to? Don't talk to her like that. Like, don't do that, right? Destiny checked Martell. So I appreciate that. But a lot of people had something to say about Chris Fletcher just sitting there and allowing Martell to say that and have that energy towards Nell and not correcting Martell. And that's not the first time that we've seen that, right? When he went on the Texas trip, Martell was the same way, loud in Nell's face, and Chris didn't check it. He just kind of stood back and let it happen and said, oh, Martell will eventually calm down. That's not the reaction that people would think that a man would do when another man is screaming and yelling and screaming obscenities in your wife's face. Like, that's just not cool. And then another woman got to step in between a irate man and check said person on behalf of your wife when you're the husband and you should have done it. But let's
I'm not mad at you. I mean, you looked it like it was a ponytail, man. You did.
Oh, my life coach got in my tail about that. Do that.
It was called. I ain't no lie. It was called for in that moment. He needed to be pulled back in, and I think I don't really know. Like, I mean, him on the show is all I can really kind of go by, really. But it seems as though he can do a 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah.
And sometimes he might need a good yank back. But do you feel like you are the responsible, like, do you have to be responsible for the yanking of him back into reality? Because you just said it earlier. You guys have known each other for what?
30 years.
20?
Who?
You and Martell?
30 years.
30 years. So
20 years was the wedding. Our cousins got married.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, as the cast member who is there, who has known him the longest, I would say at this point, do you feel like I gotta do this? I gotta, either speak for him.
I don't think I feel like I gotta do it, but I think in a moment I just do. Like, it would be no different. And I have that. It's a bad habit with any woman. Like, I do it.
Okay.
I just do it. Like, even with Tisha, when I said I had to put if it would have been anybody else, I have to break that habit. It's a bad habit. Yeah.
You feel like that's a bad habit? I don't feel like it's a bad. I don't know
defend a woman against a man. Yeah, it's a bad habit.
I mean, it's a bad habit. Okay,
it's a bad habit.
But I'm thinking about your intent, right?
Yeah, my intent is always that. But I grew up fighting boys, so I'm not intimidated in the moment.
Yeah, we don't
think about it. Yeah.
Put yourself in harm's way.
Yeah.
Especially when she got a husband that's standing right there behind her.
Well,
behind.
That happened twice.
Oh. That's T, right?
What do you make of the relationship between Marceau and Tisha as of, like, the scenes that you see, like that last scene? And I know you're not in their marriage, but as a friend who is watching, and then as a castmate, do you mentally have to dissociate when you see it, or are you in your kitchen watching it like, girl, what? Or no, he's correct. You're not listening to him. Like, how are you responding when you see it?
I see y'all caught that. I see y'all going off in the chat. Go off, because I thought the same thing. Now, she did say that she and Martell went to school together. She was a cheerleader. He played football. And now she's saying that they met at some wedding where her cousin or somebody got married. And now she's known him 30 years. I don't know, Destiny. I don't know what to believe no more now. Sometimes I do think you be telling a little white lie. And then in some moments, I feel like you're telling the truth. I don't know. But let's keep going.
when I do see it, because sometimes I don't, but I'm not like out of my body upset because I've seen it so much. It's the same thing over and over.
Destiny says she's seen it so many times between Tisha and Marceau, where Marceau does not protect Tisha.
Over and over again. So I don't really have a real reaction. Then I have my underneath thoughts that I'm not supposed to say out loud. And it's a lot of those that I end up getting in trouble for later because I say it, you know, when I done had a couple cocktails. Or just, you know, hey, when the truth needs to be told. But yeah, I feel like we've seen it. We've seen it over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
How are things with your mom?
Okay, so we're gonna pass. Let's bypass because she's talking about her mom, and then she's gonna mention her mom, her second mom, her bonus mom, who recently passed away. We covered that here, and I talked about it on my show as well. All right, so let's move forward. Nell and Kimmy's fight. She's gonna talk about Nell and Kimmy's fight. So let's get into that, and then we're gonna get off this. Okay, all right. We'll start it here. To the ad, of course. All right. Shout out again to DJ Ritchie Sky. Fair use. This is fair use commentary. All right, let's get it.
Nell is fun to me. She's
the
fun.
Girls
to watch.
are fighting. The girls are fighting.
Nell and Kimmy's fight. This is what we listen to.
Because they were. I mean, I thought it was going to get bad between you and Letitia, but I felt like between them two, it was actually worse.
Oh, baby, it was. I have never heard Kimberly D. Scott curse from her soul. And she volunteered that to Miss Nell.
It was from
her soul.
Misplaced anger from not being happy at home. That's what that shit was. Nell caught some heat that was meant for Marceau. I mean, meant for Maurice. That's what that was.
Deep in the
I was like, oh, not the elders are fighting.
My elders.
What is going on? Yeah, I was thinking that.
This is a trick question. I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyway. But do you think it gets any better?
Baby, no. No, I would pray that it would. I pray that it would.
That's a very good PR answer. I appreciate it. Lastly, I want to talk a little bit of business.
I do want to say something, and not to make it somber, but you talked about my biological mom. I wanted to.
Okay, so she went into that. All right. I don't know if I took it too far, but she did say that the two of them were really, really fighting, that Kimmy really went in, and so did Nell. And if you guys, again, go back and watch Carlos Kings if you have time. I probably should have pulled the clip, but Carlos talks about how the two of them went back and forth, and how Nell and Kimmy, like, they really would not stop. They physically had to, like, get in front of them and be like, hey, like, stop, because they were really, really going. Nell would not stop. Nell was riled up. Carlos said it got really bad on set between Kimmy and Nell. So, yeah, from what we saw was the light version of what really happened behind the scenes at the reunion, part 1. So we'll get to see part 2 coming up this Saturday. And it's going to be live as well. So we'll be covering it, all the clips like we did for part 1, okay? So you guys definitely come back. We're going to end this video here. Let me go ahead and put this in the chat for those of you that want to watch in its entirety, this interview. It was pretty good. Destiny shared a few things, okay? It wasn't too bad. But y'all know I have to go and listen to stuff on you guys' behalf so that y'all can, get the tea. Shit, that's how we get the tea. We got to listen to stuff. I don't be wanting to hear all this stuff all the time, but in order for me to get the tea and bring it back to you guys, that's just what we have to do. So there's the link if you want to watch DJ Ritchie Sky. Shout out to him again. Fair use commentary on that. All right, Destiny, she did drop a lot of gems though, but she says Marceau just does not be protecting Tisha. If Martell run up in Tisha's face, oh well, Tisha, you on your own. Marceau is not about to jump up and be like, don't get in my wife's face. He don't do that. But yeah, I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video. Again, shout out to my top flight mods, Rose Ormstead, Tiffany Thomas, and True TV Podcast. Thank you to all of the content creators that joined us live, all my Caramelians in the bushes, as well as in the chat. Please like up this video, hype up this video. Please drop all of your comments for all of the topics that we discussed in this video. I will see you guys on the next one. I may do a video on Rails World today if I have time as well. I hope you guys saw some of the I did do some videos last night since I was bored. And I may do some more today for TikTok to put over on YouTube as well. So y'all be looking out for those. But thank you guys so much for supporting. I will see you guys later. Until the next video. Let me get some good video. Oh, y'all liking the new music that I uploaded? I hope so. We're going to play some more of it here now. All right. Thank you guys. Bye.
Stain, which has determined your fate. I've never seen so clear. I feel the end and it's near. The day of reckoning's here. The sound of deafening fear. You won't die if you try.